thought, wow, this is a great opportunity because there's a lot of other categories that this industry has become. There's surf, there's skate, there's snow, but there's also mountain biking. There's e-bikes, there's wellness. It's a very different world now than it was in the 90s and early 2000s. And so I thought of this idea of to kind of combine those and kind of get back a West Coast show. So what I did was I reached out to some of my friends who are retailers, one of them being Nate McCarthy at Proof Lab, some other San Diego, Dave Nash, Josh Bernard at Surf Ride, and then some of my friends who work for brands like Outerknown and Firewire and some of these big brands and said, what would this show look like? What would it take for this show to be successful? And they all gave me their input from both sides, which is great. This has always been open communication. How do we make an incredible show that will have legs and will continue on? And first and foremost was the date has to be right. It has to be June, and whether that be mid June or early June. So we landed on June 20th because we were able to secure that date, and that was because everyone's looking to pre-book orders for spring and also be able to write at once orders for that current year. And so that was number one. Number two was has to be affordable. And that was where I came in to trying to figure out who I would go and reach out to about this show. And Redline Expo knew we could solve that part of it, and so which we have. The booth price is far less than any other show out there. We've also provided drayage, all sorts of bells and whistles that you normally get hit with at other shows. And I knew this from being as a supplier of trade show booths, the pain points of getting hit with that drayage at the end of the show and the freight and all the things that go along with what happens inside a convention hall. So we got together, we solved that second issue. So it was the right date, the right price, and then the right place. Most of the brands in the action sports world reside in Costa Mesa and San Diego, but a large portion of them. There's some, obviously, Patagonia's in Santa Barbara and things like that. And it was going to be an easier lift for the brands to get to San Diego than it would be to go to the East Coast or any other show, whether it be Colorado or any of those. So we knew we would be able to help save them money just off the bat, just by proximity. And then a lot of these retailers that exist in Hawaii and the West Coast, a little bit harder for them to get to the East Coast. So now we're able to find a place for everyone to come together. The East Coast also still wants to come to the West Coast, right? They want to see all their friends. So this is a tribe. This industry. It's been a long time since there's been a place for everyone in the industry, whether they be on the brand side or the retail side, to be in one place. And so that's been resonating uh, like far and away by the most important, more than even just writing orders. But everyone understands from the retail side and the brand side that they have to show up, they have to write orders in order for this show to continue in year 2, year 3, year 4, because that is very important. The ROI is tantamount, but also that community. And so everyone understands the mission, and that is the mission, is to have a
Right.
West Coast show, a order writing show for the brands and the retailers within the outdoor space as well as the action sports space